This is Danny Gilfillan for Seconds Out. We're in Manchester where we've just saw Savannah Marshall be crowned the new undisputed super middleweight champion of the world against Franchon Crews-Dezurn. It's a pleasure to be joined as always by Johnny Nelson. Johnny, a bit of a messy affair, but Savannah got the job done again, two-time world champion.
A messy affair, the belt stay in the UK. Again, she becomes world champion, which is a good thing for Savannah. She's got a lot better box in her. But she became world champion. So you can imagine when everything falls into place and she's how she's supposed to be. She fights how she's supposed to fight. She's as successful as she's supposed to be. You know what? She got the win. She got the win, and when she showed her skills, that jab, that movement, that long left hook, it was like controlling. And so she'll look back and think, you know what? I am actually better than that. I said that after she boxed Clarissa. And eventually it will all come in place, and she's world champion now, so she has time.
I think sort of a wider range of scorecards tonight. One judge had it even, one judge had it, I think, 9-1 with 1 round even to Savannah. How did you have it?
I had it closer. I had it probably 1 or 2 rounds in it. If they said a draw, I wouldn't have been surprised. But I had it closer. So you just certainly see.
Quick word on Natasha Jonas as well. Another great performance. 2-weight world champion in a stoppage debut. She's sort of flying the flag for Liverpool, isn't she?
She is good on Natasha. She deserves a holiday. She's going to go on holiday for a month with her daughter and the rest of her family. Well deserved. She's such a nice, deserving, honest fighter. I'm happy for Joe Gallagher as well. Champs camp has been brought up from the ashes again. Went in the gym the other day. It was amazing to go in there. Great history and great tick for the gym.
Lastly from tonight, 8 nearly full rounds for Ben Whittaker. How do you think that'll serve him?
I'm glad he got the rounds in. He needs it because this man, to go on to British, Commonwealth and European level and world level, you've got to get the rounds in at some point. And if you get in there with a fighter that's tough, that just wants to survive, unfortunately it might not look pretty, but you've got a chance to show what you can do.
Johnny, you've been on the end of some flack this week from Frank Warren. Wasn't too happy what you had to say about Tyson Fury. Said you talk bollocks, excuse my language. Just what do you make of Frank's comments? Pretty harsh towards yourself, no?
Well, you know what? He works for Tyson, so he's got to do his job and defend his fighter. And let's remember this. I think Tyson Fury is the best out of a lot of them. I think decisions that are being made are a bit stupid, a bit emotionally driven. I think it'll affect him more than anybody else. He won't lose support, but it gets to a point where the fans will think, oh really, I don't care what you've got to say this time. You might change your mind next week. Frank Warren's job is to work for his boss. Tyson Fury is his boss. Frank Warren, instead of actually answering the questions, he tries to undermine the question askers. That's what a kid does. I thought Frank's better than that, man. And Frank, you should know better. I like you, Frank, but that was it's like a rookie move. It's silly if you're doing that.
Any sympathy for Frank? Because as you say, Tyson Fury is his client and he's not going to come out and slate him, but the public opinion is sort of turning against Tyson, sort of leaves Frank in a bit of a sticky position.
But Frank's got to do his job. That's what he gets paid for. That's what you get paid for. He'll take the flak, he'll take the stick. That's what he's got to get paid for. So he's got to say stupid things and try and attack people that ask questions that he doesn't want to answer. But he's got to remember when he does that, there's going to be a reaction from me, from Tony Bellew, from Carl Froch. Like it or not, we're grown-ass men. So we're not going to say, yes, I'm Frank, no, Frank. We're going to answer you back. And that's just life, and that's that. I'm not on his payroll, so I don't have to bend over and let him kick me in the ass, So when I heard about it, I laughed. I thought, half of that stuff's in my book, and actually, factually, you're wrong at one part of it. And I'm quite sure Tony Bellew will give him shit. I'm quite sure Carl Froch will give him shit. So I know Frank. Frank may be a champion, so I know who's the king of talking bollocks. So he did a great job with me.
You mentioned Tony Bellew there. I'll not repeat the nickname Frank Warren gave him. He was also on the receiving end of some flack. Tony's teased the comeback potentially at Bridgerweight against champion Rozansky, I think it's pronounced that. What do you think of the possibility of Tony coming back? I think he's 40 odd now.
He could do it and win it. As long as he comes back for just that fight, good. If he comes back for a career, don't do it, man. But I think it's for just that fight. He could do it. I'd do it. If I was Tony, I'd do it. Because he could win that. And then say, I've just dipped in for that fight now again. I don't find a problem in that. Tony has got fight in his blood. You can see it's still there, still itching. Still hits the bag like he wants to smash someone's face in. So he's still got something there inside of him. So he's still got that fight there. He still trains and keeps himself in good nick. He's still young enough to actually win that title. But he's not. He's too old to have a career as a fighter all over again.
You say you do it, Johnny. Is that you constantly thinking about a comeback to Bridgerweight?
But I'm 56. I'd do it if I was his age.
Wouldn't have believed you're 56. Last one, Johnny. Canelo Charlo, but not the Charlo we were expecting. Jermell instead of Jamal. Jermell will be jumping up 2 weight classes. I think it's the first time ever there's been 2 4-belt undisputed champions going at it. Just thoughts on that fight? I think it took us all by a bit of surprise.
Canelo's in a unique position where whoever he fights is big in any belt, any title. And Canelo is not his best, but his best beats 98%, 99% of fighters that are out there, whoever he fights. So again, it's creating interest, debate, and conversation. And you're going to put bums on seats.
You think Canelo wins that fight?
Yeah, I do.
Johnny Nelson, thanks very much.
Pleasure.